Hi, Justin Schneider here, your technical team agronomist for LG Seeds in the state of Michigan. Today for your agronomic tip of the week, we're going to have a little discussion on trying to avoid soil compaction at harvest. The last few weeks here in Michigan, we've had a boatload of rain, anywhere from 7 to 12 inches in some areas, and farmers are getting very concerned about compacting their soils too heavy this fall and affecting crops in the 2019 growing season. With that being said, soil compaction is pretty much the compression of pore space in the soil, and in doing so, you're going to restrict root growth the following season. How can we help avoid or help minimize some of our soil damage this fall? A lot of the things could be with 80 to 95% of your soil compaction is going to occur on the first path or the first tire tracks across that field. So for when you're using grain carts, for example, try to use the same path as much as possible. The second to 10th pass is not doing as much damage as that first. So if you can continue to use the same track, you'll minimize the areas that are affected, the areas that will need to try to break up that compaction either later this fall, next spring, or sometimes you may have to wait till next fall to totally get rid of some compaction layers. How will we get rid of compaction during fall harvest, or after fall harvest, sorry? It would be with fall tillage, spring tillage, but we got to remember, do not work this ground when it's too wet, or you're just going to create more damage. Here we're in a field here, a plot today that we're actually trying to get off before the next rain event here in the next couple days for the state. And in doing so, we're just kind of pushing the envelope. We're creating a few little ruts out here, but there isn't anything or much you can do. The crop has to come off. Soil compaction is definitely going to be an issue this fall with a lot of our harvest equipment. There's nothing we can do. The crop has to get out of the field. All we can do is try to minimize it to the best of our abilities. Select fields where it won't affect the soils, maybe a little more forgiving to allow the heavier ground or your heavy clay soils to dry out a few more days, and try to use the same paths as much as possible in the field with our grain carts and semis and such. If the combine isn't leaving deep ruts, or ruts for example, more likely the soil had enough aggregates or enough soil formation to support the weight of that equipment. So deep tillage a lot of times will not be necessary. But if you're leaving some pretty good ruts in the field, you're definitely going to need to break that up with some tillage to help you take care of that situation. So unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it this year. We have to get the crop out of the ground. Soil compaction will just be something we'll have to manage in the next year. So that's your agronomic tip of the week, and hopefully you guys have a good and healthy rest of harvest. Bye.